So hey guys, it's Jemecia Capri, the nurse practitioner extraordinaire. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you've already subscribed, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Anyway, today what I'm going to talk about is online discussion posts. So some of you may know or may not know that I am Dr. Jemecia Braxton Barrett, and I've been a nurse practitioner for over 20 years, and I've been teaching online for those, or excuse me, teaching for 20 years. The last 7 years I've been teaching strictly online. And what I've noticed is my students who don't do well on their exams are not doing really well on their discussion posts. So as an instructor and as your friend, I am going to give you a few tips on how to crush your discussion post every time. So as I'm grading your papers, there are 5 key elements that I'm looking for. And I want to go over that with you a little bit in depth today. But did I just say in depth? I hope I said in depth. Because anyway, sorry about that. I want to go over that with you today. So those 5 things are, I'm going to tell you off the bat. As an instructor, we are looking for timeliness. We're looking for references. We're looking for key topics from the prompt that your assignment has already given you. We're looking for interaction, and we're looking for format. So every now and again, I will look down because I'm doing a PowerPoint, and I'll be moving that PowerPoint while I go through this for you. But if you find that you are a student and you struggle with online exams or standardized testing, then you really should be trying to really do the best you can do with your online discussions, because most online discussions are worth, at most of the colleges that I've taught at, are worth about 40 to 50% of your grade. And so with that being said, you really should be getting 100% on all of your discussions, no matter what, every single time, because sometimes that will be the thing that takes you over and helps you to pass the class. So I'm going to do that extra special thing for you today and just give you some insight on what instructors are looking for. Most of all, what I'm looking for when I do read your discussions. So I am looking for the requirements. What are the requirements? What does the prompt ask for? And did the student do that for that particular assignment, okay? And so when you go to write your post, you should be looking at that as well. And your post should be pretty substantive, which means it should be very good research, 4 to 5 paragraphs, references should be there, all your citations properly done, and that should be there, okay? And also, you want to use your prompt for that discussion for the week. You want to use that as your tool. You want to make sure that you hit all the elements of the prompt. Whatever it's asking, make sure you're doing everything with that prompt. Okay, and so let me just give you like a short example, which is what I have displayed here. This is just an example. This is not from anywhere particular, but this is what I see. So the assignment does ask you to review this week's chapter reading or any media. Then you're going to select a research topic. It gives you several topics to choose from. You're going to choose one. And then it's asking you to go on and consider some things. Make sure you consider all of that. Then it also asks you to give your personal opinion on that. Do that. But even when you give your personal opinion, back it up with something, with a reference, some type of evidence-based practice. Okay, so make sure you're doing that. Then you're going to go on and post that when you're supposed to post it. Say Tuesday it's due, or Wednesday 11:59 it's due. So go on and do that. And then you're also going to respond to at least 2 of your classmates. Most discussions ask you to respond to 2 of your classmates. Some of them ask you to respond to 1. Whatever the requirement is, do that, okay? And then you're gonna make sure that you follow all the prompt's call to actions. So I've broke it down here again because it's so very important to make sure that you look at the prompt and do as the prompt is telling you. Okay? So stick with me. I got a few more things to tell you about that so that you can do very, very well on your discussion post. Okay, so now to get the best score possible, what you need to do, now that you've got your prompt out and you have your draft, you're ready to submit, before you do that, pull out your rubric. Compare your rubric with what you have there to make sure that you have everything that the rubric is asking you, because sometimes in the rubric will ask you to add something as well. And if you miss that, you're going to miss points, and you don't want to do that. Okay? And then also here it asks you to make sure that you do all these elements: attendance, your prompt, timely, you interact. Make sure you're reading your rubrics to see when you're supposed to interact, whether that's twice a week, 3 times a week, before Saturday, before Thursday. Make sure you're getting all of that, because if you're not, you're missing points that are very easy to get in your discussion post, okay? And start early. Don't wait till the last minute, because we can really tell if you've waited till the last minute. It shows. So make sure that you're not waiting until the last minute. Like I said, do a draft, compare, make sure you're prepared before you submit, okay? And all the requirements are there. All right, now here's a couple tips to make sure that your post is not just good, that your post is excellent, okay? So somewhere in your initial post, your initial discussion, put some questions in there. Make it interactive so that some of the students will respond to what you've posted, or even I'll respond, or the instructor will respond. So if you want to make your discussion post stand out above the rest, make sure you insert some questions for just anyone in the class, so that you can foster some interaction. So what I mean by that is, at the end of your post, when you're all done, make your last statement or your last comment a question. So if you talked about bacterial vaginosis, then maybe you could ask something like, class, what type of alternative therapies have you tried or have you heard about to treat bacterial vaginosis? Now, that should foster some type of interaction. Remember, if you do that and someone replies, make sure you go back and follow up. Follow up on what they said, and make sure you're still interacting with whoever that is who responded, okay? But also make sure that you're not over interacting to where the instructor might feel that you're trying to take over the class. So you don't want that. You just want to do just enough, and you'll get a good feel for that, okay? And make sure that if you're answering, that you definitely do provide references for those answers. Even if it's just your own personal experience, you make sure that you have some evidence-based practice to back up your post, okay? And that leads me to interaction. Interaction is great. You make sure you're in class, you're interacting, whatever the requirement is in your discussion, whether that's 3 days a week, 4 days a week, whatever it is, you make sure you're in there interacting. Because if interacting is 10% of your whole discussion grade, why would you miss those 10 points? You don't want to do that. But you don't want to be saying something like, oh, great job, or oh, I agree, or no. You need to make it substantive. And what I mean by that is, make sure you add something to it, whether it's a contrast or if it's something building on what your classmate has said. So make sure you have references for that as well. Okay, that is all, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming and spending some time with me today. And if you like the content, please make a comment below, and it really helps me out if you like this video, if you make a comment or subscribe. Thank you. You guys have a great day.